Namaste and good morning, everyone. Let's do the prayers before we start our class. Om Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parbrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Bhur Tatsavitra Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Asto ma sadgamya tamso ma jyotirgamya mrityur ma amritam gamya. Om sahna bhavatu sahna bhunaktu sah viryam karvavahe tejasvi navaditamastu ma vidvishavahe. Om shanti shanti shanti. So we are towards the end of this Yog Darshan. So last time when we were together, we looked at verse number 7 of chapter number 4. And the name of this chapter is KAIVALYA. KAIVALYA. KAIVALYA means only. Only means freedom. When you are got rid of all your karmas, the impressions of the karmas, all the vasanas are gone, you feel that, hey, Atma, the soul, only. So influence of the karma was mentioned in that verse number 7, where Rishi Patanjali said the actions of yogis are neither white nor black. Of others, they are threefold. So white and black means the pious and non-pious. And other people, ordinary people like us, we do certain actions which are pious, some non-pious activities, and some of them are mixed also. But yogi, through the karma yoga techniques, has risen above this. No effect of the good karma, no effect of the bad karma. So now let's look at verse number 8 today. Tataha tadvipakaha anugunanam evabhivyaktirvasananam. Tata means therefrom. Tadvipakaha, the ripening of those. Anugunanam, accordingly. Ev means only. Abhivyakti, manifestation. Vasananam, of potential desires. Therefrom, the manifestation of potential desires according to their ripening only. So the manifestation of vasana in different lives depends upon the possibility, the conditions, and the ripening of the karma. Like in this particular birth, there are certain good times, certain bad times. Sometimes we cannot explain. So this is what he is saying. The manifestations of vasana in different lives depends upon the possibility, the conditions, and the ripening of the karma. Usually it happens that in this life we do not suffer, even though we may not do good karmas. Or we may suffer even if we do good karmas. Often we say that, why do good people suffer? And bad people, so-called bad means we see that they are doing bad karmas, but they prosper. Where is the justice? This is due to the possibility of manifestation of the potential desires according to conditions available for ripening of the fruits. So time has come for certain karmas which were done in the past. So in the present, we don't see those karmas done. The prarabdha karma of an individual comes to fruition not according to the karmas, but according to their suitability. For example, if you plant spinach today, you will have the vegetables or the spinach leaves shortly. Within a month, you can see the spinach leaves. But if you plant a mango tree, it will take 5 to 10 years. So depending upon the karmas. So there are some karmas, they sprout right away. Some karmas, they will take their time. So the experiences one may have in this life may be the effects of action done in the past lives. So ordinary people have to suffer because they have no control over the fruition of the karmas. But the yogis, on the other hand, a person who understands the whole, it's like a karmic effect, past, present, future, has complete control over the conditions which give rise to the effects of the karmas. One mind can suffer a lot, but the other mind, the same kind of a condition will not suffer because the mind has been detached from all these effects. So this is a very decisive point of yoga and must be understood very clearly if you are walking on this path seriously. Yogi has two minds. We talked about the Nirman Chit in the earlier verses. One of which undergoes the effects of the prarabdha in daily life. He enjoys the good and the bad results of the past karmas, like ordinary people. But because of the meditation, yogi develops in himself another channel, which Rishi Patanjali called Nirmana Chit. That is a higher vehicle. So there's no enjoyment of pain or pleasure because of this understanding. The average person has only one mind, the lower mind. And that's why he suffers. Yogi, on the other hand, has neither good nor bad karmas because of the Nirman Chit. See, nobody is an exception to the rule, actually. The karmas, they will definitely have the effect. But it's up to us. Do we want to suffer because of the outcomes of this karmas, or do we want to stay detached? Rule is a rule. For yogi also, for non-yogi also. So the yogi and the jnanis, they undergo suffering with this absolute knowledge, understanding its power. So they can detach mentally from that physical pain also. They don't go through the mental suffering. This is the secret about which most people are confused. They do not understand that even a yogi cannot go beyond prarabdha. Because yogi doesn't want to cross the limit. Yogi accepts the law of karma. Because this law of karma is a God's law. He doesn't want to break the law of karma. But he knows how to stay unaffected even in the stream of karmas and their effects. And this is all because of the yoga sadhana. Yogi discovers the door through which he escapes the cruelties of life, and then he evolves a new method to face this life. That's how we see them standing firm where average person gets shaken off. Verse number 9. Jati desh kal vyavahitanam anantaryam smritisanskarayoh ekaroopatvat. Jati. Jati is the class of the birth. Desh is the place. Kal is the time. Vyavahitanam, separated. anantaryam sequence, smritisanskarayoh of memory and impressions, ekaroopatvat, because of sameness in form. So in this one, he's talking about the memory and the impressions. And we all know that memory and the impressions, they are all in the chit, the deeper part of our mind. Anything we keep on doing again and again and again, it puts an impression on our mind. So because memory and impressions are the same in form, there is a sequence, although they may be divided by class of birth, place, and time. What he's talking about over here is when the jeev migrates from one body to another. See, the soul, the essence of us, never gets destroyed. It just keeps on traveling. And what travels with the soul is our mind, total mind. So that's what he's talking about, that when the jeev migrates, so that's called a jeev. Okay? Jeev migrates from one body to another in countless births. There's no set number of births we are taking. There are countless births. And there's a continuity between the various births. So like a last birth and this birth and the future birth, there's a continuity. How it's continuity? The memory and the impressions of all the past lives, they continue in this birth also. We are not aware of it. We don't know, our conscious mind does not know, but the impressions are there from the previous lives. Because he says there is an uninterrupted sequence of one personality throughout all these incarnations. The present birth is divided from the previous births, and it takes place in a different class of birth, the jati. It could be a jati means a class of birth. That means it could be animal kingdom, it could be a plant kingdom, it could be a human kingdom. And in humans also, we can take a birth in a king's house or in a very ordinary family or in a very remote place or in the middle of the market. So different jatis. And it could be at a different time, different place. But the births are all of one single jeev. And after departing from this body, when we go into another body, it will be a different place and time. We cannot dictate that. We don't decide that. Depending upon our karmas, our desires, God places us at that place. So the knowledge of the conscious mind does not link itself with any previous birth at all. So even though the deeper mind, the chit, has the memory and the impressions, but our outer mind, the conscious mind, cannot reach there. It's very difficult to understand the sameness of two births. So this is a very important topic which concerns the theory of transmigration of a Jeev Atma. So the memory and impressions being the same in different incarnations, the difference in births, places, and time does not matter. Okay? So the same Jivatma can take birth anywhere, not only on this earth, anywhere else also. So God creation is so vast. But that Atma and those impressions, the Chit, or the deeper mind, it all travels together. Verse number 10. In this verse, he talks about the source of vasanas. Tasam anaditvam cha chashisho nityatvat. Tasam, there is anaditvam, the beginninglessness. Cha means and, chashisho, of the will to live. Nityatvat, by permanence. There is no beginning to them, and the desire to live is eternal. And we can see that we all want to live and live. That's why it's called eternal. Nobody wants to die. So the law of cause and effect binds the mind of ordinary people, and there is a continuity in memory and impressions. This sutra number 10, which we are talking about, describes the source of the vasanas actually. The process of accumulating impressions is without a beginning. So that means we don't know where it started. Because this whole thing is like a circle. We don't know where the circle started. Circle is a continuous movement. So the process of accumulating impressions is without a beginning. It is eternal. Hence, vasanas are called anadi. They are the latent potentialities of desires. See, it starts from the desire. And how do the desires start? From the fruits of the actions. So we do the action. There is a fruit, good or bad. From there, the desires happen. We want to have a repeated fruit, good fruits. We want to go through that again and again. And sometimes we get a little sour fruit, we want to stay away from it. So that cycle continues. So they can manifest in the form of desire whenever an opportunity arises. Vasanas form a part of the causal or subtle body. Because sometimes we wonder where these vasanas are. These vasanas are part of the causal body or subtle body. Usually they are supposed to mean subconscious desires. Because conscious desires we are familiar with. I get thirsty, I want to drink something, I get hungry, we are conscious about it. But then there are certain subconscious desires. So in yogic philosophy, the vasana means the latent potentialities which give rise to karmas. So that means they are so subtle. We just end up doing the actions based upon those vasanas. So the causal body is also called vasana deha. Deha means body. So the vasanas are a part of it. And there are so many of them because we keep on accumulating life after life after life until we just pay attention and we want to do the yoga sadhana. We want to eliminate those vasanas because as long as the vasanas are there, we'll definitely keep on taking births according to those vasanas. So the beginninglessness of the vasanas is proved by the eternity of the will to live. I want to live more. I want to enjoy. I want to see this, go there, meet that person. Those are all because of the vasanas. So the old vasanas also, but without even realizing, average person keeps on adding more to the vasanas too. So the will to live is found in human beings from birth. Also in other living beings too, not just only in human beings. There's no creature free of the will to live. So that's why the vasanas also become beginningless. You try to catch a little ant runs away. Mosquito is bothering you, try to clap your hands and want to catch that mosquito. Can do that easily. Will to live. Vasanas are found in the subtle spheres of this body. Because in this body, there's a physical body, then there's a subtle body. So vasanas are in the subtle body. And even in the cosmic mind, which undergoes different modifications. There is another stream of consciousness of which the individual willpower is a manifestation. That stream is also present in every being, in all of us. But when a yogi of that caliber, the yogi can develop the nirman chit, it is a manifestation of that universal stream present in him. It is the divine mind. It has often been used by inspired thinkers all over the world, actually. If you read their biographies. Apart from the lower individual mind and the cosmic mind, there is a third one, which is called the divine mind. So the Nirman Kaya Chit is the microcosmic manifestation of the discovery of that supreme mind. That's why the rishis of the Vedas, they called this mind as a devata, divine. It has so much power. But we just want to use that mind only for the very ordinary things. We make our mind very tamasic, rajasic, but we can make that mind a divine mind also. It's up to us how much polishing we want to do with our own yoga sadhana. Verse number 11. This is about disappearance of vasanas. Hetu fal ashre alambane sangrihitvad esham abhav tad bhavaha. Hetu means cause. Fal means effect. Ashre, support. Alambane, object. So these are the four things. Hetu, fal, ashre, alamban. Cause, effect, support, and object. Sangrihitvad, because of being bound together. It's almost like a one knot. Esham of these, abhav, on the disappearance, tadbhavaha, their disappearance. Since cause and effect, support and object are bound together by their disappearance, that also disappears. Who disappears? The vasanas, because now the topic over here is the vasanas. We want, because as long as the vasanas are there, we're going to keep coming back here again and again in different forms, different places. But how do we disappear those? That's what he's telling us in this verse. So vasanas are beginningless, but they come to an end when their cause or support disappears. Cause and effect are bound together, he says. So the substratum and the object are bound together. So support is the substratum. So if one of the two disappears, the other one will also vanish. So we saw that the cause of the vasana, in the previous chapters we saw, what is the cause of vasana? The technical term for that is kalesh. Avidya, asmita, rag, dvesh, abhinivesh. We learned these. Avidya is not knowing who you are. The minute we forget who we are, we keep on cultivating more and more karmas. Then asmita, we forget. We just identify. When we forget who we are, we identify with something which we are not, like this body, or what we have gained in this through this body, name, fame, everything. Then rag, attachment to the good things. Dvesh was want to stay away from something which is not pleasant. and abhinivesh is a fear of death. So Rishi Patanjali is saying that cause of the vasana is the klesha. And what is the effect? Effect is the birth, experience, and life. Because of the vasanas, we keep on coming back here again and again. We experience and we add more vasanas here. So cause of the vasanas is the klesha. Effect is the birth and experience and life. And birth, where will be born? How long we will live? What kind of a main events will happen in our life? That is the effect. And what is the substratum? Substratum of all these experiences is the chitta, the deeper mind. It is the substratum of vasanas, and the alamban or the basis of the vasanas are the objects of enjoyment. So basis is all these objects, this objective world, the Maya, what we see, we just get attracted to it so much and we forget who we are. So these are the four we got to remember when we do the sadhana or when we live our life. Cause of the vasanas, the klesha. The effect is the birth, experience, life. Substratum of all this experience is the chitta. And the alamban is the objects of enjoyment. No guru says that don't enjoy, but not at the cost of forgetting yourself. We should always remember who we are, who is really enjoying. We forget, we think we are enjoying. When I'm eating something sweet, who is enjoying? The tongue is enjoying that sweetness, and mind is feeling it, and then mind wants it more and more. That's how the attachment happens. So the cause, the effect, the support, and the object of vasana go together to make them continuous throughout the cycle of rebirth. And it happens with so many objects, and it happens so fast, we don't stop and pay attention. What is really happening? If these four factors are removed, then naturally vasanas will also come to an end. If there's no cause, there can be no effect. Similarly, if there's no support, there will be no object. If the kleshas are finished, there can be no life, birth and experience, because those are the effects of the kleshas. And if there's no birth, there cannot be any question of the chit. If the chit is not there, there's no support for the vasanas. You see the crisscrossing of all these four. So the chit can be eliminated by the process of meditation. That's what we do. The purpose of the meditation is to clean this chit and detach from this chit. Then although the objects of enjoyments are there won't be any vasanas. So when the substratum and the objects are eliminated, then vasanas will disappear completely. So through knowing the fact that vasanas are dependent on four factors, vasanas are also made to disappear through elimination of these four factors. So I want you to contemplate on these four, because you heard throughout these lectures for the last few months, the hetu, phal, ashray, alamban. What is really happening in our own chit? Forget about anybody else. When we go through good times, what really happening? Are we creating more vasanas? Once we leave this body, because that is the fact, we have to leave this body one day. What kind of a chitta will go with us? Satvik chitta, little less dense chitta, or more dense chitta? This is the sadhana we need to do. Because in the first two stages in life, see, there are 4 stages in life. First stage, sure, we learn about this body. We'll go to school. We learn how to stand on our feet. Second stage in life, we get married or have a partner, have children, have a household. Third stage in life, we retire from all that and we want to learn about this kind of education. This is called Paravidya. Then in the 4th stage in life, we start practicing more and more, so that how can we detach from this world? Whatever we have learned. It's not that we don't feed the body. It's not that we don't take care of our children. While doing all of it, how can we keep on cleaning our chitta with the help of a deeper meditation? Because we want to leave this body with a lighter luggage. The lighter it is, higher we'll go. This is what Rishi Patanjali is teaching us over here. Let's look at verse number 12 also. Atit anagatam savrupatoh asti advabhedat dharma nam. Atit means past. Anagatam means future. Savruptah, in its essential form. Asti, exists. Advabhedat dharma nam, of inherent properties. Past and future exist in their own form by difference of paths. We all know that we talk about the past, present, future. There are different states of this world in the form of events or processes. Constantly we talk about what will happen in the future, what happened in the past. But at the same time, we know that which is today will become yesterday. And after some times happening in the remote past, this today will exist and will continue to exist even after a year. But it will not exist in the present. It will exist in the past. That's the flow of time. At the same time, the world which is yet to come, the world of future time, is already there. After a day or two, or after a few years, the future will become the world of today and also the world of the past. So it's just like a movement keeps on happening. So we come to know that the world exists in the past, in the present, as well as in the future. And the past, present, and future exist in their own real form. They are not contaminated or confused. They are not mixed up or lost. Their essential form, this is what he's telling us, essential form and their identity are not lost. There are people who are able to enter this world of time that you call future. The rishis, which are called trikala drashta, They can see the past very clearly, the way we see the present, and they can see the future also. Three times they become prophets. And they can tell us what will happen. They can forecast. So it is said in this sutra that the world of time in the form of past and future may be considered as a separate. This is the classical view of yogic philosophy. So the essential form of the world of time is a matter of controversy sometimes. But what is more important is the difference of inherent properties. There are two paths. One is called determination, and the other is free will. Determination is like a film being projected on the screen. It will project only what is in the film. So that means it has already been determined. It cannot project anything else. But the other path is the path of the free will. And there are a lot of happenings which can be changed according to our free will. Because as human beings, we have been given the free will also. But there is definitely determined, the actions which you did in the past will determine our prarabdha right now. On account of these two different paths, there's a difference in the inherent properties. The past and the future remain different. It can be changed. So according to yoga, every happening is absolutely pre-planned in the space and time. Everything goes on like a film projected on the screen, but there's a difference in the inherent properties, which he calls dharma over here. That difference is due to the difference of path. And the difference of path is what we call determination or free will. So when you discuss determination, then the future becomes the present. The present becomes the past. You cannot change it because that is beyond your power. Second path is that future becomes the present and the present becomes the past. But there is a change every moment because you have the capacity to change it. If we bring that steering wheel in our own hands, we can change it. And we are able to know the secret of the world of time. So what he's talking about over here is yogis, they take their lives in their own hands with the help of all this knowledge. Verse number 13 will start next week, but it goes like this. Te vyakt sukshamaha gun atmana. Te means they, vyakt means manifest, suksham, subtle, gun atmana, of the nature of gunas. Whether manifest or unmanifest, they are of the nature of gunas. And gunas are what? The sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. So these are the factors of existence. And we'll talk about it next week. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaye Purnameva Vishishyate. Om Shanti 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 Om. Thank you very much.